Super hinime. Radu chichi maswaya kanoti. Abraham asifono makonemi. Papa uchichi binum swa yakami. Eja anyone hintame. Anyone hintame.
Yeah, that must say technical team. Mema obi biara akwaba ene enyumre so baby biara wo sheme. Ye do nyame ase se ene edwade yi so aye ne pe aye na dom. Health ministry program yi so yesan so etwaso. Munyina munim yato ne din 1 week to wellness, biblical perspective to health. Many aje meda obi biara se na menam sa akwenye so de mo obi biara kwaba enyumre so waba Nagsda Central Zone Health Ministry program yi eso mesan so afasa akwenye so na mama sorry ahora ye wo Nagsda Central Zone yi so akwaba ye na ye nim ye wo Washington, First Nova, Woodbridge, Philadelphia, North Carolina, Ebenezer, New Life, British Columbia, and Calgary, Edmonton. Yada onyamia se. Meniji pi baby biara obia ehwe me wa wabeka ho a. Wonso wo hwe me baby biara wo ewo US. Ana wiase afa na nyina baby biara wo a wo hem titiru Ghana. Se wo hwe me a ye ni ajepa se ye dwumadie yin so waba abeka ho amano ACP AC eta. Se ne mu nyina mu nim no na wotwi ye wo dwumadie sronko a ye de emam enu an ye hya ase ne nenso ye wo topic sronko a se de bia o ye wadwen se ubeba ha around this time a ubenya suahunu bi every topics ahoro ya hyehye na se ne mu nim no ye key tester ye gina so e de aye dwumadie no ye hunu wo Jeremiah 33 verse 6 making kanchi miwia na makan ne brofo no o say hwe miara me de ade ani nro bechichire ni kroso na masa won yade na matue asudwie no kre a ebroso ama won ne brofo ne pa na working kan a eno de eye me edeye brofo no New International Version o say nevertheless I will bring health and healing to it. I will heal my people and will let them enjoy abundant peace and security. And I'm also saying, Yeda Unyankopon ase. Na mesanso akai wo say dwumadi ayedi the media channels ahoro bebre so etwe a omo so ehwe yen. Ye wo Yonkudo Radio, Hope Channel, Ghana, Otebo Media, Hope for Life, CB Radio, and uko YouTube so a bibi bia ye no eno so eba so ewo ehonum. Ansa na metwa so me paucho baby biara wo bia bro komase ne kata wani na ye mo empire. Eradi Nyankopon yeda wase se na watwi watu esi ho ama health ministry department ese omunye program sunkui enfama wasafo. Everybody yeda wase se wa mayensa akwanyen papa enanwumre ye jadwumadi a ye be nyina hye wonsa ye de customer for hye wonsa ye de wona ebetie so ba bibiara obi a wo hye wonsa. Everybody man konkon no emekan ye na fadwumadi enumum na bibia enkoso boko a ye nya problem biara yeda wasisi watie ye nim se bibia ewie mu dia ye de na ase a eni kabia ma yeda wasisi watie ye wadum nti amen. Sabre mesre technical team na omo amaye enyon. Amen. Yedamo asepa sabre ebre edru se ye ne ye be yi ye kasama for no achre na enu ase ne mu nyina munim no ya kasa ye papa ye elder Dr. Chejemfi Ole Foundation ne my oni yesua bibi efa developing a healthy lifestyle. You know that minye free mu or say our health is our wealth. Na enen so ye kasama for no so ono so eba betwa so se ne yedi kanka no na what you know health department for omo ewo program so kupi e de emamo na ne de Nyankopon nam ne so a obekye no ono so oye family man to say the nrade o chene ono so ye family man sa you see behind every successful man is a woman. Yes, waware omo wo emema too omo san so ewo oba eba ko na de obekasa no or doctorate degree from Loma Linda University. Cecilia Menoka say, or ye clinical director, for Athletic and Therapeutic Institute, ATI, ewo Laurel, Maryland, ewo Yekrom Heya, USA. Wasanso a therapeutic pain specialist onye free EIM and Purdue University. Wasanso hold vestibular rehabilitation specialist certification and also wonya free American Institute of Balance. Osanso ewo nimdie ewo functional standards for optimal aging expert. Na the chance so kran say ye central zone Nagsda on a health ministries leader. Osanso personal ministry secretary ewo Washington Ghanaian SDA. Ene meni aje ahobrasiemu ese me introduce to mu speaker no Dr. Benjamin Opoku Bediako. Ne nedwumedi ode be my watu ne din say becoming more physically active. Eti mesro be biara obia wo no bre wo komase ne fa mpaye ta na chi. Bra technical team ebe my theme song no omutu theme song ni wi a de mo betene nka no enye obi biara say yankasa ye doctor wo ye Health Ministries leader, Dr. Benjamin Opoku Bediako.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Baby, all joining us a free piano. Once again, thank you so much, Mrs. Baden, for such a wonderful thing. Yeah, better when you pons was say and never boy home by now. 1 week to wellness, Jumadia ye dino, and ne and so ye twaso, and ne ye twaso. 1 week to wellness, biblical perspective to health. Na enra nyame adom Dr. Chejan fi edianim LA Foundation emaye kama. Enra o che ye maye hu say, how do we develop a healthy lifestyle? Na enra ade ba ko kan na me pick it from no was said, you need to start your day with God. If we want to have better, healthy lifestyle, there's no better way to start than to dedicate our lives ye dear hwede ne ye honam nyina be hye onyankopon sa at the beginning of the day. We are going to start and end with God on every day biano. Enti ye can say those are some of the things that ye koni nyina ye pick up in kakra. And ye no sunti and Dr. Jemfima ehu say we need to be very intentional. Say eba ya pomodin a ese say eden ye sheda I can cast me can say ese ye ma ye ni da ho anase boapayo ye boapayo minim say nkrofo ye boapayo de ya de born but we de eba ya pomodin a we need to be ese ye ma ye ni da ho na ye boapayo say ye boapapa ma ye pomodin na eden SCP na enra Dr. Jeffrey Mayesu said there are other what we call social determinants of health. New maybe a boama ya pomodine itimi den SCP. Na ene nyoma na obobo so enra no lay foundation kama maye no. Ene nyamia ye yadom ye baba betwa so. Nene ade na ye baba betwa so ye baba kan said developing physical. How do we so let me say Dr. Jeffrey can one of the things said physical activity one of the social determinants of health and nyoma emaya pom within CP esitano say ye physically active one of them nene ye baba be zoom in na ye hu kwan na say here be here say yetimi ye den physically active it's ene baby I will join here free biano and no asem ne yeba besua becoming more physically active and what the ne yeba besua na ya bompa ye se ne di kan no this week ne ye kan ne say ye fire Bible no na ye bie ye trust him na and me say ofa your memory text and they said Mrs. Baden kama no Yehun wa Jeremiah 33 verse 6. No okana say me or say, behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. Or say, she na mede apomodin any ayaresa na ede ebremo na mesamo yare na mesremo eden asumdue ne eden no kore emusuo onyankopon pese ode asumdue ene no kore a abusu epese ode ba wo fie na question say menu mienu ye bi say ho say sa apomodin healing cure na opese ode ba no. Are you ready for it? Are you ready to put up those things? Are you ready to implement those? This week, and only your memory text. Now, my this disclaimer. My first disclaimer, my person be said, "We be say, ye health program. Na adenti na ye dinya me sem eba. Nenra, we be say question come be say yes. Say education is one of the things that also is one of the determinants of our health. No be say nti wo hu obi oye doctor nzo na na pomodin nkwa animu. Na nra yesua hu say se nyankopon enimo a hey wait mako school no kra kodo nyame ani it will not amount to anything. Enti eg white can say be na yeso ye pese ye de hye ya adwin enema ye nyina ehu ne ene say yes, God has not called us into medical missionary work just to make healthy sinners. Onyankopon fa ye ma say ye mra ye nya pomodin nye abone ye fo aye wa ahode. No. Nyankopon pese menewo ye a Christofo aye wa ahode. Na se there be ye gina baby ne ka kire say God is good. Ye nya ahode ntimi de atiama ka kire obi say God is good. Because many ni say obetima catch will be say God is good. Ebra de bia wo yare. Untimi kan will be say God is good. Ebra de bia na wo si apene. You cannot continue to tell people God is good when you're constantly getting sick. When you have one issue or the other. But onyankopon enam na dom no so ene the inconscience so am so many principles by which we can live. Enti ene ye disclaimer na say this week in Yinana, ye ka pomode ho nsem, but nenso you have a biblical twist to it. And only your disclaimer, and we cannot assure you, say, and you might just from health perspective, but also you're going to get a biblical twist to it. And then your person would share what dreams are. Now, there were two expectations I say at the end of it in your person. Now, two expectations, and then I said, it is our expectation, say, at the end of this presentation, participants will be motivated to make at least 2 lifestyle changes and to present their bodies as a living and acceptable sacrifice to God. And say, at the end of this week, Nioma wa problem Nioma bienu bi ese wutimi eden esesa. Enti yakeka koni nyina bisa ho se Nioma bienu ben ena yetimi obetimi asesa. Yesu ade yi. Nioma bienu ben na obetimi asesa at the end of this week. Enti wotena ho de ye dwen ho nkakrakra enra ye hu some of the coping things, some of the lifestyle changes I say ye ba ene ye ka physical things bisa say emu de he na wo ye den wo ye wadwen say by the end of the week wo pese osesa na yet waso no me pese me kai be free E.G. White woman watu ne din counsels on diet and foods. Now I hope say me PowerPoint no me PowerPoint no because me say mo follow edisiana ye kono or say all our habits, taste and inclinations must be educated in harmony with the laws of life and health. By this means, we may secure the best physical conditions and have mental clearness to discern between evil and good. Now, I didn't question woman in your part, I catch and say, Emra, yeah, didn't say, ye pesi di onyankopon echi. As I say, yesu, ye habits, ye taste, ye kono, any ye inclination, nyoma ye di hono. Esesi yesua ho ehho ade se na be ya ene ye pomodin ne besisi animu ne animu osisi yetimi yesa ene ne yebeboa ne yebema ne se ebema ya pomodin ye physical health ene ya dream tie me se Dr. Sheikh can say mental health, and this week Rebecca was it's also part of it. Ebema ye the mental clarity and then no the bema ye hu ensronsono ya edam papa ene bonintem. And when our mental faculties are clouded with diseases and sickness, yentimi enmi enya the clarity yehiano. And until this week, ye dear si wona ye pese ya pomodini ACP, send ye beya papa ne boni mun sunsans and sunsuni edem ye betimi ye. Na enam sa sunti na ye hu sa ade we ninti no. Enne ye be say who say what is the state of our health? And why you be. And then what we are doing is the root cause versus changing, like chasing symptoms. And that's all by your health care. Most of the new my you be brain, I say symptoms near chasing. Obiba Nikoto Joya Neya Nehanu Yeneya. Most times, Nioma, dear Crona money, the go to Jenny and insist in any way say, but and the symptoms in the HAC. So by US Anuma, statistical crab within 2015, over $3 billion has been spent. Oh, Chrome medical insurance a big deal. Now, or therefore be a friend that said John Travis or can't say, but see, diseases and symptoms are the body, mind, spirit attempt to solve a problem. And Pepe no, a ye yare eba yosono, a ye be no quambia, any yarding, any ye spirit. A quambia or person or faso, and as you soon quambia or person or faso, not solve some of the problems I walk. clinically say pain and make one sema. Yebeka say pain is 100% produced by the brain in the body's response to a threat. And anytime your body ever go under a threat, you get pain, and the body try to find a way of solving it. Now, unfortunately, most of this body, mind, spirit attempt to solve a problem, just because of your lifestyle. Ya braba ye woman and no na masa problems yi bebre aba. And then heart diseases, cancer, diabetes. Anyway, saying sanyama we nyina ye ka say it has come because of our lifestyle. Nenra yesua bi. Nene ye ka the physical part. Na E.G. White e can be or say na or the efwa asema sa the scientist called John Travis kan no so no or the fwaso say there's a good correlation between sometimes some of the things science says any a dim concern or the amaye. Now can cancers on diet and food or cancer or say the majority of diseases which the human family have been and still are suffering under, they are created by ignorance of their own organic laws. Or say me and pen no yare any new may be a year suffer from no. John Travis say your body mind, body and spirit attempt of solving a problem. Na E.G. White can say san nyoma bano body, mind, spirit attempt of solving a problem. It is coming because many umbi no bebrene and bebrene ye buye ni egu mra e boy apomodin ho ban. Emra nyankopon de aba a e boy apomodin ho ban. A lot of us yato atwene. Na enam say yato asen or see they seem indifferent in regard to the matter of health. Yemu bibi yafa ye ho say emfa me ho. Yapomodin no emfa ye ho. So we seem indifferent to the matter. See a couple more days, oh, we are tiabre. And I know, say a lot of us are on this platform. Oh, new man can tiabre. But the question now, me person be so say, and new man what tiabre? How many of them have you implemented? And until this week, yeah, can say by the end of the week, and your person will make a decisive attempt. Say at least 2 things. And new man be no obasisa. Or say they seem indifferent to the matter of health and work perseveringly to tear themselves to pieces. Or say ye mu bi ayen say ye mfa ho na ye wi a na ya tete ye ho into pieces. Or say when broken down and debilitated in body and mind, send for the doctor and drag themselves to death. Or say ye say emfa ye ho na near ne say near didi near nom near ye body ni sa afe de ye dru be afe na doctor fo ne ye hu am doctor mama duro na ye wi na ya nom aduro na so de kum ye ho enya me na make E.G. White ne kasa assembly just because say ye mu bi aye adwen say we are indifferent when it comes to our health and fire ho. It is an enra Dr. Chekan ye be di aduane ne sa Obeka say wo bia da wo. I tell you wo bia na wo. Me na ba ko ewu ye. Kwasi ara no pa ya devotion. Okọ ne den ye ko ye ko bo ne prum na ne tisi. Ne Bible mu. Ewu bia na wo. All death are not the same. I've had people at my home here, well to do, meet thousands of dollars on mobile side, but they could not reach out. And so, but they are so sick. It's a mintimum pension and no como. Wo be a no. And to brain, this indifference is killing us. Now, we are now your body needs to see after the na drone. Ye mubi a drone I to say breakfast. Ye a good plate is what would dear out me. I didn't conscious myself all canon. Na yet was no. Enti ene there be so many things I can wasem. Wait emra from and no monsa and smoke aduane efa e the cholesterol ni we say no e say back from o blood pressure so ba e say we good social network. We ye kwanhweni na we esi eni podia. I know say that is not even a problem. Now For me, no man can say minimize or effort in any of these. But the question I am say, which comes first? Say me no answer. Say me reduce my cholesterol. Say me reduce my diabetes, hypertension. We say sometimes people, which comes first? I like to say the chicken and the egg situation. First. Which comes first? Which of them and amount make the biggest difference to your health? And then may sell it at the biatro. Now, yeka cholesterol share me. Which of them? For instance, how many cholesterol do I need in a day? But your baby hear me, screenshot this. Yeah, what be a friend said, basal metabolic rate. Now, a estimate or a minimum estimate of the amount of calories that your body needs. And what Dr. Che can say, I see a senior so I can't script a what labels a word or mama calorie intake, you know. And to be who say, oh, yeah, Bema. That's what screenshotted this formula. At least every day how much calories are we here? So we'll take physical expenditure out. And so how many calories are we here? Oh, your body, so how many calories? Maybe someone say, at the end of in a day, and then you will consume in a day. No, are you doing more than you need? Because and no let this answer so I would do any be ever. Now, yeah, cause no, Mama showed some study be a year. Omu follow 10,000 Harvard alumni. Harvard University can say what US. Now, Omu follow these 10,000 Harvard alumni for 12 years. Now, this particular intervention, I may become once a me or say 23%, you know, Omu lower Omu risk of death than those who didn't get this treatment. Omu taking this treatment, Omu demo Omu. Omu timi lower Omu also by 23%, which is very significant. Now, we say a drobing. A drone was exercise, basically walking, mostly walking. For those of us who are Ghanaians, they are new to us. In fact, in one of the studies I made research on, one DiCaprio, one Italian beer or yes scientist. One of the things Omu said, Omu take Italians, Omu say Italians know and there's some very nice evidence of that. Na maybe say enka Ghana for so de enke kanante enke so enke yade. But now you move bebre yabakroma. We've been in the US. We're here. We just go like, hey, we're here to make money. Yes, you're here to make money, but not at the expense of your health. A lot of us are killing ourselves at the expense of health, and we have no time for our health to the point that we are making money. And I'm sorry to say this, we will not live enough to enjoy the sweat that we put in if we are not careful. We are breaking our backs, building mansions in Ghana and elsewhere, killing our families and going into so many things just to be able to live like the Johnsons at the expense of our health. And basically, you know, Harvard alumni, 10,000 of them over 12 years, you know, those who mostly did just walking, you know, they were able to reduce their death by 23%. Now, this is what I see. This is the cycle you come. You're done. Near sorry, near office. And as you jumum, you call your juma, your befie, near betting TV on near San Baha, near San Baba Beda, a juma TV, da a juma TV, sa near Didi in between. This is the cycle you move a braye. Na sa cycle way at the summer brain. Na Ura be a friend said Professor Stephen Blair. Professor Stephen Blair, a public health expert on the Arnold School of Public Health, South Carolina. Now, omu study be a friend and say the aerobic center longitudinal study mostly is say cancer study now. And you say you share nipa bi na you assume you follow over a period of years after omu subambi. na omo fa nipa 50,000 a man and mema 50,000 and omo follow omo over some years. Now omo follow omo over some years, they wanted to study what actually some of the things that a money paniwu. Now, this is what they came up with. Omo can say, what is the biggest attributable fraction? Now, attributable fraction, and you know, one person can say, and neoma a risk factors a money pawu, diabetes, hypertension, smoking, drinking, high cholesterol, and all those neoma you can say a risk factors are a mawu nyebia. Net say, ya to so ye besia mama no. Those risk factors, no. Omo bisa omo say ye one of those risk factors ni free man. Emu de he pa nanka e contribute to your death to the point say ye no free mo enke bema ye wu so ayeden ate ewu ye wu no ni we say no what a shock no anyway say na yenya obituaries na yenya for young people no kwan ben so nanka risk factor ben pana enka ye free wa enke bema ewu no so ate. So that is the attributable fraction. Now this is what they did. In this area, risk factor say obesity. Almost a year, yes, that is good. Smoking, good. Hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, but there's one be a wahano. No, besides say, and this anima way in nano. A day mo pa and a wee free one, and I think yet me boy a home body woman, and Quebec tea ye woso. Over 50,000 men and women over here in the aerobic center longitudinal study, no one said cardiorespiratory fitness, and as the idea friend said, low fitness is the biggest contributor to death in our society. Low fitness. Yemu bebre semen kan say baby a woti bia no. Wo de opa, ye betimi pause 30 seconds. Yenye 30 seconds, within 30 seconds, yenye how many sit to stand? Say what trans no sorry no. Within 30 seconds, how many of us are able to make 15 sit to stand in 30 seconds? I'll bet I can bet on it. Say about half of us on this platform will not be able to make 15 sit to stand in 30 seconds. Clinically, that is one of the determinants of fitness. Basic ones. How many of us na yeti was see your time here home, you move your watch anyway, your time here home 15, you perceive 15 sit to stand in 30 seconds. How many of us are both wakumane bo peri? The reason I said low fitness is the biggest contributor to death. But the funny thing is, how is it? And for me go through the study, I wasn't surprised because most time when people have low fitness or more obesity cholesterol, so more low fitness or more hypertension cholesterol, or more cholesterol level no cholesterol, or more diabetes no cholesterol. So you realize low fitness becomes the basic denominator. Meaning if people get their fitness level no go up, when some obesity the back of form, or more cholesterol the back of form, hypertension the back of form, diabetes in the back of form. Yeah, it was so. And yes, like I said, the low fitness is the stronger predictor of death. Into me person me bisa won say, emra wo hai, o fitness level send the city. And then you were a draw for diabetes, you were draw for the hypertension, you were draw for anything. But we rarely see fitness thrown into the mix. Na ye ba ye mo Ghana for put dia na e kra areho. Most of us as Ghanaians, your neighborhood cry, your nante cry, who neighborhood baby cry. We go through that loop cycle, no? Ya didi, ya kwa juma, ya buy better TV so and go through the near bar sorry near corner. Nothing else. We hardly throw anything fitness into our mix. Now, in one of the studies, we said, so be or you're obese. Now on sign exercise and would ye who highway to the grave. Now obia even or you obese not even on 90 and that's why I can say no on 90 pono. they realize the negative consequences of obesity. So the negative consequences na woman no. Just by being able to kind of like walk or exercise, or like even do walking, you are able to ameliorate like ultimately the negative consequences of obesity. So until baby say, if this is what is happening, because like any medication, what is the dosage? What is the dosage? How much? How often? How intense? Me assure say when it comes to exercise, what take 30 minutes. Over and over again. 30 minutes. And with 30 minutes being active, you can realize all the benefits that you can come once. Now, say even class, we need 30 minutes. Mama can't say we intro. In a recent study, they put in what they called digestive work. Nene, say one TBB crime free me one. Now they know what person shots and now don't see me. I want to sell to you a draw your friend a digestive work. Now, digestive work is something you do for just about 10 to 15 minutes. Me person me tons I draw them out. To say Ghana ki to draw a you trotro mene kejetiane a Accra la pass muno. Me person me tons I draw them out. 10 to 15 minutes, we call it digestive work. Now, in a study by Andrew Reynolds, our year postdoctoral research fellow at University of Otago in New Zealand, at the said, short post-meal walks, a friend said, digestive work was effective at lowering blood sugar after dinner than a single 45-minute walk taken at mid-morning and late in the afternoon. Nyon pattern said, so what did we especially in Muradiana? So what's me taking a break 10 to 15 minutes walker? Or more issues about diabetes. I may say, Enra, Dr. J can the negative consequences. And if I want to quote him there, I'll say, diabetes here, you're bonny. And for those of us in the clinic, and we've seen the negative effects of it. And for those of us who go into pain, if we have time near cut the negative effect on some of these sugar levels, on people's pain threshold, it will surprise you, the science behind it. Now, we say people who do just about 10 to 15 minutes after meals, especially, who they say, when to me and a drone me person me Tom say, after at least who they are not and you read who did here 10 to 15 minutes, we call it digestive work. It is a new rule in the house, digestive work, 10 minutes after each meal. If you cannot do it after each meal, at least you will dinner there after each dinner, 10 to 15 minutes work, a mandatory will feel. Sadro and I'm person Tom. Say they saw the biggest differences with walking after dinner. Digestive work. Now, Obibe bisa say, adenti ene yeka digestive work no one asem. Na ese wo ne say, ye body na say the human digestive system no. Anytime bia ubedidi no. Ye body ne wo ho no. Ye body ne nim ampesie. Ene nim tacos. Ene nim fufuo. Ni enima ne say aduane wodi ye ne carbohydrate, ye protein, ye minerals, vitamins. Ni enima no. Now most of your aduane na ye dinner those carbohydrates anyways, even the proteins, the body ne converted those into a sugar called glucose. Now glucose is the primary source of energy for your binipediano. Intimijina make kasa anyway say may burn glucose to help me to be able to do those things. And after say we did who did we here, may sure or sena nyame adoma Dr. Freda Beckham was into details. After say we did we here, said duane na adaje say we na convert into that glucose sugar na. Sa sugar ni stay our bloodstream. Umojanum no it stay na yewo ade a homo be a friend say insulin. Sa insulin e na boa na twe sa sugar no ekọ into o cells no na o cells no use immediately and as a store for later. And no na say binom de no already na say honum na ye ma. I to say we call grocery shopping. Na me fa say on the counter na nyoma omo wo no ye ntonwie enti track na delivery track na ye dey ba no. Shelf no so ayema enti ontimi deliver. Ye mu bebre diabetes, that's what happened. When the blood and sugar na blood may say according to cells no already the cells are saturated already. Insulin no either say the insulin is not working very well and now say the cells are saturated say it mean sugars in primogenum and cause cells into na camogenum and then diabetes neba. Now and no and all this problem, heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, and some of these heart problems neba. Excess we say na excess glucose na form other plaques, the fat na lay on umoja drobena. Your friend said the lumen of the bloodstream, the blood vessels, na lay ho. All these problems are here can you na ye move forward, And to be say, and how does that working, or for instance, digestive working, how does it help? When you first one say, your muscles na ye wanna, and I say, ye namia ye way, and you see glucose, and say you saw draw the sugar out of the circulation, and so it reduces amount of sugar floating around in the blood in anyway. And another thing to say, exercise stimulate the different peristalsis, which is the process by which digestive food move through the GI tract. So wo fa wo me fan say wo GI na say wo yam na aduane ne fam na sa exercise no eboa ma sa tract no etimi eden move aduane ne timi move. In this one, anytime you exercise, you say, Sebio, and right can, Oko Jaw Nakra, it's me, man, a bantem, and my Bianna, when you could say, Bianna and show so. Because just that exercise, and Buama, son, your money to me a day, a cost on them. And then, ulcerative colitis, any those cancers, anyway, say, those are just because most people are sitting down to the point whereby. And I'm so much more digestion and kosuye and aduane taumuyem na creating more problems. And nothing and made some digestive work amount. And you draw tatache proven and tested scientifically. Now, another example. In another study on what they call the nurses health study. Omu say a man nurses move or activity or 1 hour a week, 1 hour every week, 1 hour. A year exercise, One of the things and say they were able to reduce heart diseases by almost half. And the one who said, and yet ordinary people nurses need other people so yare, doctors yare. Because sometimes we, the health professionals, we think that we are immune to it, but we are not. And in the nurses' health study, they realized that keep at least 1 hour, and it was 7 days in a week. You have 6 days, 1 hour. It is easy for you to make that 1 hour. They were able to reduce their heart diseases by half. So the question maybe I will say, what is your excuse? Another example, in 1990 in Japan, the Japanese government who said, a lot of these heart diseases anyway. So they talked to some of the companies, and one company, what they decided to do, and say, workers car. Now what they did was say, I can't now this is what they realized. Less than 10 minutes, they had no effect. But omo between 11 to 20 minutes of walk to work, they were able to reduce hypertension by 12%. Over 21 minutes, reduce hypertension by 29%. And you want say, so what shall see now we digestive walk in 10 minutes. What's a bit of baby? One casa, person would be crying to get to at least 30 minutes each day. Digestive work, a drought attack, and a name to amount. Mamimo, another example. In another study, by one, when it comes to heart surgery, I said demonstrating a one of the top notch. In one doctor, be a friend and say Rainer Humbert. Oh yeah, dear friend said stent. Now stent in the air said umoja drobeno. And I said they had blood vessels now called the heart and man yes, when your heart failure. No, your heart na a muscle. Now muscle na no one pumping moja ban and no one so here diane. Now blood vessels na econo. A bin woha and now say fat deposit or active name any calories, body na after the new baby install we say a chassis store fat on the lumen of the blood vessels, and I say moja drobeno, we say na ayina kokodi dem. Na yesa na esimoja drobeno ti drobeno se na ne kase te say ya. We say na so te na yeketoa. Enti ne de bia ne duru bia ne blood pressure no e say e kosoro. Na etimi pushi moja ne through it. Now, what this man did, and say, yes, some complicated surgeries. A friend says stent. No, me dia shame. Let's say a baby moja drume so that you bit me ama moja na yeden akum. Now, with that complicated surgery, now it costs so much money. No, decided so be steady. Now the study, what they did, and they said they made people sit on a bike, stationary bike, and this is what they realized. Omu say the success rate of the stent procedure no omu 70% success rate. Omu tina bike na so no ye we say no they were able to reduce their heart conditioning problem by 88%. Cheap, more global and more systemic benefits. Ye mu bebre yesi ampe. Ye pe the complicated one and yet me aba so dem aba be dia dance ye nka mewu. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think say Nyankopon pesi ye get to a point whereby we don't have to get to that point. Yes, things happen by no fault ours. We live in a sinful world. But Nyankopon pesi enyoma ye betimi ayabo ye ho ban enne o pesi o kire ne hu se o de owo ne nkwa asi yanim. Then I will choose. Enne because of technology it is promoting the stagnation. In my clinic, sometimes we catch a patient and say, yes, you are first shift stick. Odon sasos a 9.5 crotch. Now what Daniel won't show with cheap. By the time I won't drive on court by no non for people rano, o 9 year juma, o come year juma, o so that year juma, o more year juma. And then because of technology, utanaka no utfaki ya and they won't chimney bill into a hand movement no crazy. I wouldn't be. Udon says piasso, tenyon so. And then also ya back it offer camera and so. So most of us we have become like robots. Yet we hardly move in any part of our ranges that God has created for us. But the funny thing is that in our brain, yet is that part to be a friend said the homunculus. That part, it is genetically coded and structurally developed by our activity. Near pattern say the more we use the more enhance it. Those parts of our bodies and I'm saying it is dulling out. Anything that the principle of use it and lose it, but we are losing most of our functions just because of technology. And it's even not now. And now Dr. Chima example was it, and then my phone and papa for you be na my manayas wedding. And Susan in chain say, so or no be park of no afraid ya man no bra. Ya man no be free suraba or fancy yes your mammy. Abding. By him say, ensure a jina baby for a coin, a say a bone a Water that is stagnant is full of disease. And likewise, humans that are stagnant are full of diseases. And they say, ensure tie baby. Yatsana Ghana de ensure tie baby. I am picture hormone. I had the first and I would dare war in chance bathroom. No, since you know, Connie and Quanqua same through a yard in it took her. And it's also nipe biana or won't move no. You become stagnant and you become full of diseases. That is what happens to you. And yemu bebre yemu na ya yekoto na de bia ya yensana de bia ya yabasana is because when was the last time me work out a move on sana? When was the last time you work up your knee? When was the last time you work up your trunk? None of them. So sometimes me patient me cancer me say wako car not on brand new. And likewise I use that as an example. Yensu onyankopon ma wo tie rubber body. It was fresh from the room, no blemish. But this is what most of us we do. Every car be obeto biana comes with a manual. And so the gas go at 10,000 a year. And so service, first service A. At 20,000 we service B. And so we change oil. And so me say it's a platform so. If there was service in time, do not when your car the service out. What happens to the car? But you see, human invention a car there. I don't think say any of us be kwa brand new car. Na baby a car chere say on for gas in gumuno, on for petrol and as diesel no or the nsuo ba go. Because he himself we spend thousands of dollars to buy that. But nyankopon we dia or dia mouth fresh from the room tie rubber no or kachira wo se nmunsia wo se soda na menom or kachira wo se nmunsia wo se ensa na menom se bionyame ne dia enim nyansa wona wonim nyansa and sometimes we ask ourselves by design somebody has meticulously made an invention and is telling you how to keep it and you say no I know better. And what Dr. Chema example said, when God created Adam and Eve in the garden, but God asked them to move and tender it. We don't want to move. We don't want to do anything. Into that group, or say, oh, Namiko move idea na mechiche. Psalm 1 verse 3. Movement purifies, or say it will be like a tree firmly planted by the stream of water, which yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither, and in whatever he does, he prospers. Who be saying what say? I didn't on you to follow or de onipa etoto. A dia was stream of water. It flows, it purifies, and it provides nourishment for the tree. Anytime we move, anytime we exercise, anytime it provides nourishment for our bodies. Obibeka se mama was this example. In a study, be a big study. Omo say obia nipa omo hwe TV for 6 hours per day. They live 5 years less. No be beside who say na me metuwe. How many men TV for 5 hours? Where let me give you this shock. Within this US, this statistics, the average person in the US every TV 5 hours a day. The average person in the US. Hippocrates can say, walking is man's best medicine. Hippocrates says that he's the father of medicine. Or say, walking is man's best medicine. Cheap. Also, we don't want to work. We will work for our money, but we will never work for our health. We will break our back to go make money, but sometimes if he say your body in a car now what they drive a jumano and it's a servicing so now say oh yes servicing so when you're servicing of the car now Now we excuse and they say, oh, me need time. I don't have time. And I'm the kind of servicing. Me say, unya time, but that crow can don't come out me could make it the money. That crow be break it down. At that time, we be your time. And you at that time, you will know the value of servicing. And that is what is like our body. Our body now, you can say work out, me need time. Did ye me need time? No, monsieur, me need time. And you know the social determinants and Dr. Cheka and you don't have time for any of your health. I bet you one of these days, say what Jaria and now will say, yes, you have time for your health. Because that is the vehicle that is making the money now. That is the vehicle that is taking you to and fro. That is the vehicle that is making you happy. If you don't take care of it, one of these days you have time for it. Don't kill yourself making money at the expense of your health. Or say, when the religion of Christ is most held in contempt, when his law is most despised, then should our zeal be the warmest and our courage and firmness be the most and unflinching. God is calling you. Say, take the body now or the amount. Take it seriously. My example here, in the recent study, also physical activity, inactivity is associated with narrowing lumbar intervertebral disc, high fat content of paraspinal muscles, and low back pain and disability. And then, since you are rare, overcall, yes, oh, may your bulging discs or my spine, and it was, or see, a lot of them, and Yamanam Kanyo, this is a study 2015 in Arthritis Journal. A lot of them is coming because of inactivity. And then Saturday, we'll discuss some of these things in a whole panel discussion on some of this. You're better discussing into details on Saturday in the afternoon. Now, and never X-ray, MRI, CT scan, and all of this. All this imaging, near cultural, you have sequestration, you have extrusion, you have all this near capable. Inactivity is one of the reasons why you move a brain, your discs, no, a loose fluid, na air body, na air crash, no. Because we are not moving, we are not exercising to hydrate the disc and keep its length. And Onyamia Maya Quine said, you have to be more active. Now, say, you might be busy with school, work, kids, or you may be in pain or have other priorities. But my question to you is, can you limit your sitting and sleeping and all the things you do in a day to just 23.5 hours? Or 24 hours? Can you limit all of them to just 23.5? Just to be able to maintain that very body now, would they enjoy the 23 hours? Can you do that? Because me person me can't say me. Na me de manusi. E.G. White can't say be in Councils on Diet and Food, or say only one lease of life is granted, or say and come back or say, and the inquiry with everyone should be, how can I invest power so that they may yield the greatest profit? How can I do most for the glory of God and the benefit of my fellow men? For life is only valuable as it is used for the attainments of these ends. Now, of course, the Kasem said, or say, health is a treasure. Of all the temporary possessions, it is the most precious. Me repeat or say, health is a treasure. Of all the temporary possessions, it is the most precious. Or say Se ba ya pomodia enioma ye wo wiase ma nyina na ye possessions aye wo no betima ye okunu betima ye oma betima I tell you all those things are important betima ye ofie na wosi Ghana no betima ye oka na wodam no all these things are important but they are temporary. But of all the temporary nioma ye wo no health is the biggest treasure. The reason is that se wonni won kwa wonni health car no ubeto esi garage untimi ntwida efie no besi untimi enjoy fie no because ye do bakoto manchwa bi sika no benya but obi ne bekọ akọ yi sika no if you person akọ bank crowd obi ne be do bekọ. Of all the temporary possessions we have in this world, health is the greatest treasure. Onyame shire onyame nom ye ne ye make it the adwen say at least in our homes we will serve the Lord, but we will serve also and do digestive works after at least dinner 10 to 15 minutes. Onyame nkan ho no shire wonadum pimunti. Amen.
Amen. Dr. Benjamin Opoku Bediako yada sepa eradi o Israel enura misien bibi bi hu say o say our health is our wealth and then so many bibi o say health is a treasure eradi o Israel pa ye brede ko but ye omreka kra bi so bi wo question ana emmoa bi a opese ode eba ye pamochon ekwan da ho ye wo be 11 minutes bi ye be fa bia ebu be 9 minutes ede afa question ene emo biara obi pese ode eba ansana ya pon dwumedi no me pa mo cho so pese obisa question bia ene de wakasa afa ho no eno na me so obi bisa afa ho why me pa cho mi hu John Donko me pa cho brem.
Okay, me that's it. Doc, nyame insta papa. Send ye kano and sa digestive work on me maintain that.
Okay.
And down why teach mo pa. Na me pese me hu se wodi di wi a. Reben accident temu sana why sa work ya kan ho asemo.
Okay. Mostly no enka emre ne de ense da hia emre. But one of the research initials said most times glucose levels sometimes will be a diabetic. Most times glucose actually comes and I say digestion happen after 72, I think sir, after a little bit of about 2 hours. Okay, 72 minutes, I should put it that way. 72 minutes, but say na blood sugar in abba into it. Most time by the time I was na absorption, but even irrespective of that, say we walking a cramp before that 72 minutes now, it creates what we call the tissue depth. And my comedy tissues, and by the time I sugar and cells are already in need of it until by an eye I check up and stay in the bloodstream. So yes, you wait to change a crap just about 10-15 minutes be. But even because so you can relax for a little bit, but at least and because the danger is oh me try kakra is now better than this know that. So now that something may professor about that a gastric optic reflux now better than this or that. And mostly I tell you say at least we'll try about 10-15 minutes you can go for your digestive work.
Patrol me who Mr. and Mrs. Edu Philadelphia and South so move to me and be some question. Oh yeah, you befa any part to Freddie Amon and Ananama. And obi so be said be ewa hana ye de ababy if you say you perceive them reno a year.
Me patrol me that's it. Doc, nyame ensure of you and someone would they am my and bring nyame namos with their mind. Now I'm person busa say. Is he then will be in the midst of exercise, ultimately free moves are obi wo ha na oye exercise ana o twa hwe no wuye e ba ne say na etimi e ba ne say na
okay ne man ba ne say sometimes obi wo ho or underlying problems that have not been diagnosed. It is sometimes in say be obi wo ho at some point say obi wo hypertension yeah make recommendations that person no onkonko jogging so be jogging cramp na one of the a year me skip here say you need what we call graded exposure and then say we start it gradually and build your tolerance in your tissues nutrients. And in some of these comorbidities and I say some of these things are near my be traveling or those blood pressure because once I want until pressure and cost rockra into or elevated blood pressure that and or they call joggy and I say a spike here and a man come on a failure. It is sometimes so some of this underlying and nothing sometimes you make you say annual physicals and some of these things and also we take your blood pressure to say and some of these things are where they were a lot of times most of the people don't even know some more. Internet it comes as a surprise to them. And sometimes if you have your annual physicals, you'll be able to pick some of these things, but these are the reason why it might be known to me. And so if you're not so person, you're now any concerns. Talk to your primary care physician. They can get the baseline measurements, and then you can move on from there.
But the doctor Pacho, the one say say is jogging better than brisk walking, and then you're similar into Namaka and Sunny for the next.
Basically, and yet one of them is not like you have benefit over the other. It depends on the person and what you want to do. Me personally, I jog. I do sometimes on weekend, I do like about 8 miles in 1.5 hours. It's because I say when I started, me building my tolerance to the point after the me after the 90 and I don't yet me feel it. Your dear friend said VO2 max. And no, as you go on, we say it is the amount of oxygen available to you at a certain threshold. And no, you're according to the technical part of the kakra. But what happened? And they say, well, as you get exercise, we will say, body no expand the amount more after the way 10 minutes in asset and so. But say not wow, no, we say increasing kakra. And one so shall say, I want to be doing we say walking not turn into what jogging. Because now you've developed the tolerance. Because we say one antenna crowd won't say why you baby. This are way more. And one of them, in terms of jogging, anyway, say mostly you can say nipa and working within what do you call say their target heart rate. We will get to that point. But before the target heart rate in those and only a more advanced level, at least start with what do you and whether I say jogging and I say we any better than the other, it depends on who is working on it. But say one shall say, just start with the digestive work. We can start from there and we can build up.
The part of Freddie Amo, obey to me, a question about.
Pacho, what you mean? Pacho, Midawasipa doctor, Nrana Messiasi, a follower, the Anomania Jehompa, Yami Islam. Now, the way I'm blending English, no name, Casano. I'm so impressed. Now, my question is, I deal with no recordings, no. This will be here, say, some message ya would na Ibia, me present Camina Nina. Quan Benson and me far, then Sabeca. Because Nema Muye, who's there, we are also to try near my baby and Sabi. Many boss and Uncle Menidio, but one can't want them. This will be pay some information in Quan Benson or Befa will be.
Okay, open your your media I for the air wire to work on getting all those available. And more also, so call your media the media supporters and it is our Taibo Yonkodo Radio era one anyway saying or my recording on YouTube. Yes, we are creating a YouTuber here. You say media for the wire to get all those things be making it available. And me say actually so here whatever support be out here we also get you all those ones. Like that part I'm skipping and Yami Adma Sabbath, you become Sabbath afternoon. we have a whole lot of time around that time.
Amen.
If I try Nanama, obetini ebisa question.
If I show my okay. Yeah, my question is Dr. That's Nyame Shira Mopa ni dwumadi model boy. Now my question is exercise na more can. Obo on or taking an exercise anopa. And san wa kwa adwuma obo so a oye na nwumre. And to say see no nam say be nipa na ye adwuma the whole day until at least just like oye no full time no until or ye exercise no anopa no a.
Yeah.
And this is way.
There's no problem with it. There are days me call jog in the morning. So days I'm working late in the morning. No, like probably I'm starting to work at 10. No, me done tema, and that is why sleeping on. Me done tema. Ebuame mano permit me sorry. At least by 6, I'm able to do my run in the morning. No, at least for an hour, and still be able to prepare breakfast and then before I go to work. And then the point is then say, and upon anyway say it depends on work schedule. Any day wait it here. And you know, most times living on a panel, sometimes most people are very energetic. I mean, first went to me for the sake of time anyway. Say now, but say yeah, you may not know. If you know our bread, or you are to a boy, Jumaya, or double our bread. Just do your digestive work. At least that will help. But your YouTube link, let me say, Dr. Hannah Abo more than they are 200 mama on the chat, you know, to wait marry. But anopa say you is still fine. The other nitty-gritties of it, we'll discuss that later.
That's you, that's it.
If I'm sure you're brainy tea, but Mary don't consult so see Solomon Swaba or me no ekas. Dr. Pacho say, okay.
Yes, we can take
you. And one on 80 Pacho, Mary don't call, obey me, I'm a question or Akoso.
Yo. That's it. Dr. made that that's far because I really love your presentation. Send me a meta it's your presentation. Now, question is exercise. I like exercise. Actually, I don't have any underlying condition, but I like exercise. I mean, person me quite one thing. Me Zumba walk on YouTube on TV. Me no me living room.
Yeah.
One thing and now we in the fear na still like okay na and I mean no so maybe and I bet for business maybe you feel a little hungry maybe a little smoothies be animal so like so say digestive work no e be at the class na we been kwa bon tin with me until we living room for about 10 to 15 minutes that work na show me that.
Me that's a pa. Yeah, walk room here. Winter bad to say we is the idea. Snow no to call. But the ones that make us and make a baby to say will be what 15 sit to stand in 30 seconds. So what trial will be the effect of it? Maybe later on, the statistics, baby. Ideally, so be the age of about 50 and going. That's all your bad. They need to be able to make 96 steps in 2 minutes. So general say no market timer. 96 steps in 2 minutes. What do you try? We want how it affects your heart rate. And sometimes I tell people say you don't necessarily have to go out. Say whether anyway say na yes, you can still get the same effect, you know, whilst even in your living room. You will be able to see anywhere. You walk quite a bit around. I climb the stairs and I back up and down. I climb up. You bit me you sooner. You don't necessarily have to go out. And then they say if staying indoors no bit me like the Zumba now kind of. You can just do. I've seen people who do Zumba and get things even working that way.
Pacho Solomon.
Yo, Doc, thank you very much. Such a fantastic presentation. But my question is exercise no. Me juma wo Walmart. Na me kwa nantin kwa. Me pije nyoma ekosoro na makutu na manante akwa. I don't know. So my time because of say a human am busy does it really make any difference than doing exercise? I think that is also an exercise, right? So
all right.
And yet that if that is not the point, what is the difference between a nanti peja and if you can make peja and nema kosoro na peja before the same peja na meja Walmart no. does it have any difference?
Okay. I think that when Mami Abigail put a question on the chat, and I think that the two of them are the same. One of the things Medi can kind of say, Mr. Solomon, and I will make it very nice submission on the chat, man. But work is not workout. But work is not workout. The point in this is, there's a mind, body, spirit connection whenever you have to do an exercise or workout. Maybe time the physiological implications, anyhow these things work out. But the stresses at work, is not the same stresses you do when you actually have to work out. Most times, the workout in our way is a maintenance thing. Way a use. But what I say? The difference, one of the basic difference, and then say, yes, it keep you physically active. Anyway, but bear in mind, they say you are utilizing it. Who utilize it? Yeah, build it up. And my another example, say, like lifting your man. Who say at some point you realize that back muscles anyway, sometimes, and then that's another detail problem, and I can say me back. And he said, lifting we say anyway, and meaning say, use back muscles, you're losing your quads depending on your lifting mechanics. The point, and then he said, how many times have you been able to build the lower back muscles for the lifting that way? So, what say Uncrofonia work injury, the workers' company we say. Wouldn't say initially your boy mama pain in the back from nowhere. We go your mama what we call work hardening. Work hardening, you take you through the same work scenario and build them up so that they can function very well using that same. But you realize and only yet a juma, but and only a treatment. So there's a whole physiological component that goes into it. And for instance, like you say, left, you need to build that back muscles. Instead of left here, muscles are already ready. They've been, I'm gonna go to and say simulation. And sometimes in years, would you know only way say but you need to dedicate time for the maintenance work, Send a bit so for 10 hours. Muscles are ready enough to stand for 10 hours. But in the work environment, who you see here, you didn't build it up. Meaning, Mr. answer question now. Okay. All right.
Yo, any doctor, that's a pa, a radi o show. O topic he the pa and so a bread and ye juma. Ready, me fa kwenye akache na say. You don't want to miss the rest of the days. Esan say, health department for our programs ahuru p debia one day or china so pese utia. You're starting at 7:45 near baby around 9 or chance so your topic. Come on, ya tuni or say diet and achieving or maintaining a healthy weight. Send ya build a foundation, yet was so quiet, and also your doctor be any debe my so who Dr. Crab me pese ochina obe balance so ube huno. And no tia damase say and then you may mo become who you made an ayed de ye benya kayam pon and so a bre any day juma. And no tia damunina say major hanum ama doctor now what was yadamase.
Okay. I did for Mumai Nina see a trust in your umpire. Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you very much for today. We give you praise. We adore you. We bless your holy name for this wonderful opportunity to learn. And maybe I be no boy me suya nioma. Now what you are boy me suya nioma who do be brave. And maybe no, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And right I've been see a person to an more a bit mama yam pum and the anymore. Yet me anya the mental clarity to discern between what is good and evil. No, obon sam no one pay ye. E ka ononko ka de bia nanka ye yare. And ka ononko de bia nanka ye see a penny we are constantly in pain. Ready? So bon sana fa kwan bi super so say ya. What some extra say, if the devil come to us one way, you will cause him to flee from us in 7 different ways. May that promise come into our life in Jesus' name. Yes, as Sarah will say, Rade. Ye free when him, ye free when him. Mwadum no humbro nkai ho. So be we more yare no in pain and I say we are. Father, please, may you use the balm of Gilead to touch that person. And may at the end of this week, may we encounter you. May we be blessed. And may your spirit lead us to make decisive steps that will help us to have health and have it in abundance. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
My heart can sing when I pause to remember a heartache here is but a stepping stone along a trail that's winding always upward. This troubled world is not my final home, but until then, my heart will go on singing. Until then.